Hey, welcome back to Kitelife. We're here in Caloundra on Queensland's Sunshine Coast, and it's trick tip time. And we're here with Mike Walker, and he's one of the most experienced kite surfers and kite instructors in Australia. And we're going to talk about self-rescue in deep water. Hey Mike, can you tell us when we're going to need to do a deep water self-rescue?
Yeah, usually you really only do it when two situations. You've either had a lack of wind, the wind's stopped, or gone offshore, so the wind's not helping you kite surf anymore, or you have a gear malfunction when you can't kite surf anymore. So when there's no more kiting but you're still out there in the deep water, you got to get yourself back, that's when you do a self-rescue.
Well, before we launch this kite and demonstrate the deep water self-rescue, Mike, what kind of kite is this and what kind of safety system does it have?
Yeah, thanks Dave. This is a 4-line sliding safety. It's a really common setup, just 4 lines, and the front line, which goes to the front of the kite, one sliding line. It's a disarming kite, and as you can see, this point here where the leash is connected back here, when it's disarmed and the kite is released, this one line is going to slide through all the way up to the kite and flag out the kite on one line. It'll be disarmed, can't possibly fly. Okay, let's go through the details. First of all, you're going to make the decision. You have to decide there's no wind, I can't fly my kite's broken. You've got to come to that decision, I'm going to do a self-rescue. Once you've done that, next stage is to make sure that your leash is connected to the disarming line. So in this case, it's the sliding safety. Understand your own gear, make sure you know which line that is. Get your leash connected to that correct line. Once you know that's going to slide through and it's clean, that's when you disconnect yourself from the kite, so you can use your quick release or just release and let that fly down. The bar slides away and the kite's disarmed. We now need to get ourselves back to the bar, so we'll just swim ourselves or pull ourselves back to the bar by walking up the line, letting the leash fall down behind ourselves, and we grab the bar. Once we get to the bar, we need to secure this disarming line. So in reality, out in the water, when you're treading water in the deep, you'll just tie it up like this. You can do a nice neat half hitch knot here by going around the end once and then folding the line over itself and then over the end, pulling tight. Do a couple of those and you know that the kite's not going to take off on you. The kite's properly disarmed and it's secure, it's not going to change the situation. One point before we go on, the length of line, of disarming line that you need to take up and tie on to shorten needs to be equivalent to the leading edge of the kite so that it can't possibly take off. And if you've got a very big kite, that might be a significantly bigger distance to your small kite. So just make sure you disarm the kite on the disarming line at least the length of the leading edge. So once you've got your kite tied up off its disarming line, you need to get all the other lines onto the bar and yourself up to the kite. So as you're winding the lines onto the bar, you're really pulling yourself, or you're pulling the kite closer to you. So we just do this out in the water. It's a little bit chaotic, end up with a bit of a mess. Make sure you've got all the lines and you're staying untangled from the kite, and wind yourself up back to the kite. Let's take, for example, that the wind is still there, we've broken a line or had some gear malfunction, we can't fly the kite. We've brought ourselves back to the kite. The wind is still blowing us on shore. In this circumstance, we'll use the wingtips, one in each hand, to fly ourselves back to the beach. So,
Thanks Mike for your help today. Now can you summarise deep water self-rescue for our Kitelife viewers at home?
yeah, sure, an overview. Firstly, know your gear, understand your system, don't get in a situation where you're doing the wrong thing because you don't know your gear. Secondly, body drag first. If you've got the wind and you can fly your kite, use that to your advantage. Don't go through this situation unless you have to. Thirdly, self-preservation really comes first, so if you have to ditch your gear for whatever circumstance, don't be afraid to do that. Save yourself first.
Thank you very much, Mike Walker.
No worries, thank you Dave.